everyone, and welcome to Secrets to Success. Today I have Matsi Modise, who's a managing director of SiModisa. Hello, Matsi.
Hello, Ole.
And welcome to Secrets to Success.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
It is an honor to have you here on the show, Matsi. So I've had the privilege of knowing you since high school, and you've always just been such a natural leader. Honestly, from deputy head girl to you've just done so many things. I just wanted to know, how do you prepare yourself mentally and spiritually to set yourself apart from your peers?
Well, mentally, I always see myself there. So the end in mind. Whether I want to be a centennial or a millionaire or a billionaire, whether I want to live in a beautiful apartment or a beautiful estate, I always just see myself there. And on a daily basis, when I wake up, I meditate for a good 30 minutes. And that for me is the basis and foundation of how I start my day. Because by speaking into what you want to achieve on a daily basis is very, very important. But for me, it's also having that conversation with God. You know, I'm not one for praying all the time. I do pray, but I see it more as having a conversation with God.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what would you say? Sorry, I'm just intrigued. What would you say to God?
There is a method to how I would engage. I think the first thing I always do is just praise God. And also just thank Him for everything that I have, whether it's the ability to see, the ability to feel, the fact that I'm not ill, I'm actually very healthy.
Yes.
For me, it's very, very important. So it's thanking Him, and then also talking to the challenges that I might have. And saying, God, can you kindly look into this? But then also what's important is to pray for other people in my life.
That's true.
I always say, for everybody that loves me, everybody that I love, for all the people that are in my life, God, thank you for blessing us and continue to bless us. So it is a conversation that I have with Him, and then I would end with what I want for myself. And I'm not shy to ask God for what it is that I want. I'm very, very clear. If you want to be a billionaire, tell God that you want to be $1 billionaire.
Hello.
And tell Him every day. Profess that every day.
Wow.
Yes.
And then take me through to, I know you started in corporate,
yes,
within private bank, and then you went into entrepreneurship. So that transition, did your experience in corporate prepare you for entrepreneurship, or take us through that journey?
So I believe that everything that happens in your life is supposed to happen. That's why I never stress about much. If I'm going to die today, it's supposed to happen. So I'm not going to be fearful. If somebody is going to not talk well about me, or somebody's going to be kind, that's what's supposed to happen. Because from the minute you were conceived, God had your entire script until the minute you leave this earth. So don't worry. If you're going to be poor, if you're going to go through a terrible patch or a financial patch in your life, all of that is meant to create. It's part of your DNA. Those moments, those exposures, those experiences are meant to build you as a person, and your ability to go through those is whether you're strong or not. But I believe that God wants us to have the best life. That's why if I'm going through a tough time, I know that this is not natural. This is not what God wants for my life. But there is a lesson to be learned. There's a reason why I'm going through this. What is the lesson? And God, let me just embrace this time. So corporate for me was part of the story. However, I only lasted 2 years, and for the past 8 years of my life, I've been in the entrepreneurial space. So my ability to figure out what it is I'm going to eat today, whether it's a steak or whether it's like McDonald's burger for 50 rands, is essentially what drove me out of that, because entrepreneurship is not an easy path, but it's been the most fruitful path of my life. And I believe that I only had an exposure of 2 years in corporate South Africa, but for the past 8 years is essentially where God put me, and this is my zone. I know when I'm in my zone. That's when everything goes very well, because when I was in corporate, I struggled, just in principle, thinking of when I can't be doing this for the rest of my life, coming in at 9 o'clock, leaving at 5 o'clock, from Monday till Friday, from January till December, from 2008 until I die. I can't be doing that. There is more to life, so I had to go pursue my purpose.
Wow. And we all look at the glitz and glamour. I mean, you're very young, early 30s. I'm not going to reveal your age.
I'm 33 years old. Proudly so.
Okay. But at 33, to be a managing director of a phenomenal entrepreneurship accelerator, if I may call it, from Sabbath to SiModisa. How did that, take us through that journey? Because we all see the glamour, we all see the like, how did Matsi get there? Like, what did you do? What are the active steps you did to prepare yourself for that?
Sure, it's an interesting question. I never see it as glamorous. I just see it as graft. There's a lot of graft, Ollie. And in all my social media, I'm very intentional about showing people the amount of work that goes behind this, so that it's not the glamorous holidays in the Seychelles or the Philippines or traveling all the other time. It's graft. It's working very hard. And I think for me, it's just being part of God's plan and journey for me, that I'm a managing director since I was probably 28 years old.
Sure.
I sat on my first board, which is a government board, when I was 25 years old. And you just kind of see it as, this is what God has planned for you. And one thing that I also never do is internalize it. It's not about me, it's about what God has in plan for me. That's why I tend to, whenever people say, oh Matsi, you're so great, or you're doing such amazing, it's like, thank you, but this is God's plan. It has nothing to do with Matsi as a person. I'm just the person that He's put on this planet to say, you need to do this, you need to inspire, you need to grow entrepreneurship, you need to support, you need to have the vision. So everything in my life is about, this is what God wants me to do, so you just have to thank Him for what He's done in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are powerful words,
Thank
Matsi.
you.
And lastly, if someone wants to go into, what advice would you give to someone who wants to actually go into your field?
Sure, I think there's a different field for everybody. For those who want to come into the space of empowering entrepreneurship, growing a culture of self-seekers and self-starters, not job seekers, it's important to understand that you have to be very practical about life. You have to be very lean as well. So the lean methodology of testing your business before you would ask investors to actually invest in it, but also in how you live your life. The access needs to go. Initially, the access needs to go, because the most successful people, there's always this picture that I always refer to, or just, I always reflect on that. There's a picture where there's Bill Gates, and where there is the founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. And the caption says, in this picture, you don't see any Gucci whatsoever.
Hey.
None of them are wearing flashy Gucci, Hermes, or any of these fancy things. They are simple people, but whatever they've created has changed lives, has had impact, and these are by far some of the most wealthiest individuals. So that says a lot to how authentic people are and what real money and what real value is. It's not the flashy stuff. It's not. You have to, the quality of life is not based on the amount of materialistic things that you have. Over time, yes, you do have the wealth. I'm somebody that values comfort. I love comfort. So if comfort looks a bit flashy sometimes, business class is comfort. First class is like too much comfort. So, it's not about who's going to see me in first class or business class. It's more about, I am so comfortable right now. By the time I land in Germany, I'm going to feel like a queen, and I just step out and I carry on with my day.
Wow, Matsi. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
I think our viewers have just learned so much from you, from your pearls of wisdom. Thank you very much for taking the time to come here.
Always a pleasure, always a pleasure.